Vitamin B6 plays a central, yet vastly underappreciated role in muscle protein metabolism. It's one of the critical coenzymes required for amino acid processing, governing how the body breaks down, rebuilds, and utilizes protein for muscle repair, recovery, and growth. Despite this, B6 is almost completely absent from the sports nutrition spotlight. While the shelves of gyms and supplement stores overflow with protein powders, branched-chain amino acids, BCAAs, creatine, and pre-workout formulas, B6 is rarely, if ever, acknowledged as the biochemical engine behind the scenes. This blind spot reveals how skewed and superficial the sports nutrition conversation has become. At the core of muscle metabolism is the transformation of amino acids, which must be transaminated, deaminated, or decarboxylated before they can be used for energy or rebuilt into muscle tissue. Every one of those processes depends on paradoxal 5-phosphate PLP, the active form of B6. Without it, amino acid metabolism grinds to a halt. This means that even if someone is consuming plenty of high-quality protein, their body's ability to make use of it is compromised without sufficient B6. It's like pouring premium gasoline into an engine with no spark plugs. The fuel is there, but it can't be utilized efficiently. Post-exercise muscle repair, a cornerstone of training adaptation, is particularly B6 intensive. During recovery, the body disassembles damaged muscle fibers and synthesizes new proteins to reinforce and grow the tissue. This protein turnover process is amino acid heavy and therefore enzyme heavy, requiring constant coenzyme support from B6. Without adequate B6, not only does this repair process slow down, but the athlete may experience increased soreness, fatigue, delayed recovery, or even plateau in muscle gains. These outcomes are often attributed to overtraining or inadequate protein intake, but micronutrient insufficiency is rarely considered. B6 is also involved in the synthesis of neurotransmitters such as dopamine and serotonin, which regulate motivation, mood, and focus, factors that are crucial for maintaining consistent training behavior. In high-intensity or endurance sports, B6 supports glucose mobilization and glycogen breakdown, helping the body access stored energy during fasting or exertion. This helps maintain blood sugar levels, prevent fatigue, and optimize stamina. Again, these benefits are foundational to athletic performance, yet are almost never discussed in relation to B6. The disconnect stems largely from the fact that B6 isn't flashy. Unlike creatine, which gives a visible performance boost, or protein powders that deliver measurable macronutrients, B6 works behind the scenes. It doesn't pump you up or improve reps per set in a single dose, but it ensures that every amino acid you consume is properly processed and integrated into your physiology. This background role makes it invisible to many athletes and trainers who focus on tangible gains rather than the cellular machinery that enables those gains to occur. Compounding the problem is the trend of consuming extremely high levels of protein without balancing micronutrient intake. As protein intake increases, particularly in athletes or bodybuilders, so too does the demand for B6. Yet most people do not adjust their vitamin intake accordingly. Standard multivitamins may contain just 2 milligrams of B6, far below what's needed to support the metabolism of 150 to 200 grams of protein per day. The higher the protein load, the more strain is placed on the transamination and urea cycles, both of which rely heavily on B6 to function properly. Moreover, athletes often engage in behaviors that can deplete B6, consuming alcohol, using hormonal supplements, or taking medications that increase B6 clearance or impair its activation. Even exercise itself, especially high-intensity or endurance training, can increase B6 turnover due to increased protein and energy metabolism. Studies have shown that athletes, particularly female and adolescent ones, are often marginally deficient in B6, despite otherwise clean diets. Functional B6 deficiency in this context doesn't always show up as dramatic symptoms. It might manifest as persistent muscle soreness, longer recovery times, chronic fatigue, or subtle mood changes. These signs are easy to misinterpret, and athletes often respond by adding more protein or stimulants, not realizing that the missing piece is a simple coenzyme. Supplementing with B6, especially in its active form, P5P, can help optimize amino acid utilization, support faster recovery, and potentially improve lean muscle maintenance, particularly in those with higher than average physical demands. Dosages of 25 to 50 milligrams per day are generally considered safe and effective, especially for individuals with high protein intake or those on restrictive diets that lack variety, such as ketogenic or carnivore diets, which may be low in plant-based B6 sources like bananas, chickpeas, and avocados. In summary, vitamin B6 is a fundamental player in muscle protein metabolism, but it has been almost entirely eclipsed in the sports nutrition world by trendier, more marketable supplements. While athletes focus on macronutrient intake and performance enhancers, they often neglect the micronutrient infrastructure required to actually use those inputs. Until B6 is recognized as a key player in the metabolic engine of muscle repair and growth, countless athletes will continue to work hard without reaping the full rewards of their efforts, hitting invisible ceilings not because they lack effort or protein, but because they're running without the biochemical tools needed to build and repair muscle efficiently.